All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 19. Today on the show, we have a wild cringe of the week. I'll give you a hint. You're transphobic. We have an insane Urban Decay section that's going to make you want to fleethecity.com. We're going to go over all the best clips from this week in culture. And Joe Rogan is taking some heat. We have a major N-word section on the show, and we're going to give you the best possible take that you've heard from all of it. And to prove a point, Richard Rapboy is going to say the N-word at the end of the show.
No, I will not.
Well, I guarantee you he does. So stay till the end to see how this one plays out. All this and more. It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 19. Ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Rapboy.
Very clean.
All right, getting right into it. Episode 19, we're moving along. Guys, we have the best fans. Let me tell you that. Last week, I highlighted the person who has a Tesla and was watching Fleccas Talks in the Tesla.
Yep.
This week, we saw people that were moving things around with the crane listening to Fleccas Talks. There was a lady truck driver listening to Fleccas Talks while she was driving. So if you guys are listening to Fleccas Talks in unique situations, be sure to post that and tag us, and we'll repost it. We love to hear from you, and we love to see what you guys are up to. It's very cool stuff.
Watch it on the beach. Do whatever you can. Don't risk it. Don't go crazy. No ledges, no building ledges or anything.
Don't get us in trouble, and no pit bulls either. We don't want any pit bull stuff. We've been we've been watching the Olympics this week. Very boring event. Not much good action. Richard Rapboy and I only watch when there's like a chance for a compound fracture.
Yeah.
And
the snow games is your compound fracture zone.
The big jumps, the crazy stuff. If you can get a compound fracture, I'm interested in probably watching. Or if there's a trans person involved.
Which are there?
I haven't seen any trans people this year.
Yeah, pretty clean. Pretty clean.
Yeah, so unless China's hiding them, and then we'll find out later. But there's no openly trans people I've noticed this year.
The opening ceremony was kind of interesting. You know, China just uses their manpower. It's like, hey, should we do a show? Yeah, give me 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of like that about the China.
They do it right.
Yeah.
They're putting on a show. It's high production. Every step is perfect. Every movement's accounted for.
Human rights are certainly ignored in the production of that.
Yeah. It's not going to be like in LA when you have like a 12-minute break. Every 40 minutes you get a break. These people have been working for days, and it shows, and it's appreciated. Look how, it came out great. They had a lot of great performances, a lot of unison, a lot of people moving in tandem. Very impressive.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I kind of had like a theory going into the Olympics. I told Richard Rapboy about this. If you're going into the Olympics and you're an Olympic athlete and you're going to do an Olympic performance, how can you wear a mask like every minute leading up to that?
Yeah.
I feel like you're not getting enough oxygen. So if you're training and now it's time to go do the show, and then right before you go out there and perform and you do your best and you're an Olympic athlete, you wear like a mask that covers your face and you can't get much oxygen. I can't imagine doing a very good performance after that.
Yeah, these people are competing for like an inch or like a 1/100th of a second or a 10th of a second, and then it's like, all right, my blood oxygen level, let's just risk it.
So I don't know. I'm not saying there's a theory there, but if all of these numbers compared to last Olympics end up being like way less and not impressive, and like, oh, no new records, no one really did that good, it's because of that.
I think that's a good call.
It's a good call.
And then also China's kind of sloppy in some regards. Like they got the giant ski jump next to the nuclear power plant. People were memeing that a ton.
Yeah.
And then apparently if you get COVID during the Olympics, they just give you some Fire Festival food. It's like
You
just
get
trash.
disappeared.
Yeah, you can basically get forgotten about.
Unless you post, videos of social media begging and crying for your country to come save you.
You got to create an international incident to get a good meal.
to get out.
Nice Olympics, China.
So it's been boring. We don't really watch.
We were watching curling yesterday.
Yeah, curling. Nothing.
Dude, curling was hot in like 2016 or maybe or 18 probably, but it's just so boring. Like people, I think, make it into something because it's it's a meme sport. But it's just so boring.
It's a sport you do at a bar when you're beer drunk in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah, that sounds specific.
That's where you do it. Olympics, not for us. We don't care. We're barely watching. We're only watching for bad reasons, so
yeah,
no need to go too much into it. First clip of the week, COVID Muppetry section. This could actually be called the That's What You Get section. Watch this lady. She's a stand-up comedian. It's almost like a double negative oxymoron. This lady comedian. I'm just kidding. Girls are funny. You guys are great. Listen to what she says and then watch what happens.
I don't mean to brag. I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period.
Honest.
What? Yes!
Ugh. You just talked about vaccines in your period.
Can't help themselves.
Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously.
Yeah. Talk about Jesus
So
in your period.
nice. So nice.
I wonder if this will go well for you. That's her fracturing her skull and fainting. If you're in the audio only section, you heard that thud. That was her hitting her head because she fainted because she made jokes about Jesus, her period, and the vaccine all in 15 seconds. And I'm pretty sure that's an instant yank out. You get called back for that.
They're done with those old hooks that they yank you off stage. Now it's just you get zapped.
You get Jesus zapped.
The crowd laughs. They think it's a bit.
I think it's a physical bit. And that's part of the thing we said. Women aren't funny. So if you go up on stage to try to be funny, we're assuming you're going to do like that's the best, that they got laughs.
Yeah.
It's like a slapstick joke. Oh, now I faint. And they're like, all right, this lady's actually trying.
That was the biggest laugh she got.
That was the biggest laugh she got.
So that's actually sad.
I hope she's okay.
I hope she's okay. Apparently I saw somebody posting that like she's a funny lady or something, I'm not going to take that with a grain of salt, I guess, but
Yeah. Well, we're in some dark times. Now is not the time to be challenging Jesus and making fun of Jesus.
so of all those injections she listed, which one do you think did it? The shingles?
I think the shingles mixed with the booster.
Yeah. Hasn't been tested before and won't be.
That's too many.
Well, hey, fractured skull. Sorry about that.
This is similar to, remember the George Floyd mural?
Yeah, which one?
It was like a George Floyd painted on the wall, and he had like a golden crown, and then it got struck by lightning.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing, guys.
Yeah.
It's like everyone likes to pretend that God's not real, and you kind of like worship Dr. Fauci without realizing it. But this is kind of the proof. This is not the time to be challenging God.
Yeah. A biblical's happening.
Yeah. Biblical's happening. The lines are being drawn. It's time to pick your side, everybody. Let's move on to an epic Urban Decay section. This is a wild one. Let's just start with the first lady, the baseball lady.
Yeah, the baseball player. This is in Seattle. Got ladies walking on the street. She's wearing a mask. Guy with baggy pants walks up. Oh, what's in his hand? It's a baseball bat. Doink, dinger. He just
Right
hit
in
a
the
triple.
back. Yeah, right in the back of the head.
Right in the soft spot of the skull.
You're walking around the city, doing your errands, daily routine, and then you get baseball batted at the back of the head. Before we jump to any conclusions,
Total random attack.
it is a random attack, and obviously we don't know the full situation, the full context. That lady could be racist.
She might have said the N-word.
She might have said the N-word. And then you'd kind of, it wouldn't be good, but I can kind of understand why someone would get upset.
Would swing a full baseball bat at a head. Yeah.
We're going to get more into that during the N-word section at the end. It's a very well thought out, well delivered piece that I know is going to be good. So I'm not going to
Don't
waste
hype it
now.
up. Don't hype it up.
We're not going to waste any of the points now.
But yeah, lovely living in Seattle, guys. I wonder what this guy's bail was at when he was last released.
I wonder if this was his first crime.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear, but yeah, no. So full baseball bat, that's attempted murder you just witnessed. Fortunately, the guy just wanted one swing because he had a lifeless body on the ground. He could have continued to stomp out.
Yeah, attempted murder by a lot.
Yeah, like seriously.
So that's sad. I hope she's okay as well. Whenever we're making light of these things, we're not making fun of the victims, obviously.
Never.
We're
This
mocking
is for
the people who are perpetrating these things, the policies, the people who make the policies, and the people doing the crimes themselves.
This is also for public awareness because these clips, obviously, nobody wants them to get out.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you to think you're at risk of a baseball attack in Seattle just walking home from work. But you are.
You are.
According to this.
Especially in the cities. Let's move on. Maybe the schools are better.
Yeah, maybe
schools are safe places.
Public schools, those are great for kids, right?
You have some kids, send them to a public school.
Let's just start this video real quick.
Let's see.
And you know what? Sorry, I'm going to get a counter going here. You'll understand in a second.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. She's out. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35.
35, no intervention. We've spoken about this before. I've always brought up why the powers that be encourage everyone to wear masks, and it's because it makes the men not lead anymore. If you're going to wear a cloth piece of paper on your face that does nothing, and you know it does nothing, but you still listen and do that, now you're not a leader in your own life, because how can you lead if you're one for one doing Muppetry stuff, and you're wearing a mask that does nothing? So look around this room. That kid right there.
Boom.
With the mask on, just sitting in his chair.
I see 3 able-bodied men within 6 feet right now.
And they're just sitting with their masks on like, oh, something's happening. I don't know what to do. And that's kind of their goal. They want us in like TikTok brain. You know TikTok brain?
Of course.
They want us in like these TikTok loops. So you guys have been on TikTok or Instagram. Everything is going to this towards this trend of like a TikTok loop where you see content that does nothing, has some music and some sounds, and then you go, boop, next one. And you're just for hours and hours consuming like these TikTok loops.
Yep.
And it makes you kind of like TikTok brain dead.
Yeah, you start communicating in songs, you get really stupid. So these kids clearly have a haze over them. They let this girl get off what did I get to? 35?
35 punches.
35 punches in 22 seconds is the length of the video.
And all the kids are wearing masks, even though the politicians aren't wearing masks. All the kids are wearing masks, even though a lot of the schools no longer have mask mandates. So they want to protect your kids. It's about protecting kids. You don't care about protecting the kids. You're going to fight them about them wearing a mask? Okay. Well, your kid's just getting beat up by some girl, and no one's going to stop.
Where are all the good men?
Wearing masks and scared. So they're not good men anymore. You got to pick your side. So if you're going to be scared and wear your mask and not help, get ran over by us eventually.
Yep. So you're not safe on the streets of Seattle. Okay, I could have called that one. You're not safe in public school. What else? Where are you safe? Where are you safe? You're home with a gun?
You're not allowed to have a gun.
Oh, yeah. Not New York City. You're in New York, remember?
So all the bad people have the guns.
Yeah.
You can't protect yourself. And you're basically forced to divert your authority and your agency to the state, the powers that be, the politicians.
Who does not protect you at all.
Who does not protect you at all. And they're going with that power. Oh, these people are relying on us to protect them. We're going to take that power and release the criminals. We're going to release the guy doing all the Asian hate crimes. We're going to release the guy who started a fire. We're going to release all these bad people because we don't want to be racist.
Yeah. What's jail for? Just to process them and dump them back out on the street, of course. It's not to hold anybody long term or teach anybody any lessons.
Yep. And to be fair, maybe those are older kids. Let's see what they're doing in the schools for the younger kids. Let's see what they're teaching them.
Yeah, let's head over. This is in D.C. Let's just head over to Washington, D.C. See what they're doing to help the young kids.
And there she is. There's the lady. I see her with the walkie-talkie and the bowed legs. That's who did it. That's who I'm mad at from this video.
Oh, yeah.
That lady.
That little snuffleupagus in the back.
Yep.
Big bird or big lady.
With her legs bowed out and the walkie-talkie, and she has all the kids doing BLM and probably no husband.
There she is.
Yeah,
dude. Good idea. Let's make these kids our pets. We have access to them for 8 hours a day.
Yeah. So if you are looking at these videos and you're realizing that a lot of these blue cities and states are not protecting you, they do not have your best interest, the people that are running these states and running the institutions within them don't have your best interest, you're obligated as a man, as the leader of your household, to provide for your family a life that is, number one, safe, and a life where you can provide for yourselves, which is why we've partnered with FleeTheCity.com. Whenever we show these Urban Decay things, the best thing to show after, in my opinion, is a solution. So FleeTheCity.com has a website where you go, plug in your information, where you live, where you want to move to, and they will help you get a ranch. As the head of the household, you're obligated to protect your family and keep them safe and get them out of harm's way. So I think the answer in the next few years especially is going to be getting out of these cities and back to the land. That's the way. That's where things are headed. The Great Reset is coming. There's going to be a big financial downturn, in my opinion. And I think the way to get around that and protect yourselves and the ones you love is to get on some land. Go to fleethecity.com, fill out the information, and they will help locate you a ranch. Montana, Idaho, Arizona, basically anywhere you want to move. Get out of the blue cities and back onto the land like it was meant to be. Fleethecity.com, check them out. Fight the tyranny that exists by getting out of these blue cities. Control your own life, control your own destiny. Moving on. Speaking of people who are trying to control their own destiny, truckers in Canada, they're still out there, still doing it, still holding the line. Love to see it. Justin Trudeau had a pretty funny quote about the protests.
I can understand frustrations with mandates, but mandates are the way to avoid further restrictions.
Which doesn't make much sense to me. Mandates are the way to, the whole thing is because of the mandates. Yeah. So now they're going to kind of pretend that it's the truckers who are causing all the problems in Canada, not the vaccine mandates.
Yeah, the mandates just came down from the heavens one day, all of a sudden, and now Trudeau's trying to fight with that. But it's like, you're the Muppet.
And the mandates obviously make no sense. It's all up for the vaccine, but the vaccine's a personal choice. If you get the vaccine, it's only to prevent yourself from being hospitalized or having a bad reaction to the virus. It doesn't have anything to do with the spread of the virus or having it be transmissible or whatever. So,
you know, the stuff vaccines usually do.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I guess Justin Trudeau's really worried about the truckers. He really doesn't want them to get sick. Doesn't make much sense. And there was like a little bit of
he's a big blue collar guy. He loves that working class. That's who he's always mingling with.
He's looking out for us. We're too stupid to know what's best for us.
Exactly.
And
won't you just get that? The sooner you get that, the sooner we can move on to no mandates.
This is our fault. This really is our fault. Yeah. And then there was like a hearing in their parliament or whatever. They wear the outfits. And Justin Trudeau gave a stupid speech, said a few things. And the counter, it was the other side's turn to speak, and they were talking about the protests and the mandates and the problem, and then Justin Trudeau left. He didn't want to hear it.
Very respectful. He's really listening to everybody, all parties. I was reading something about how Jen Psaki was talking about some other thing, like defunding the police is what Republicans wanted, like a clip that went viral a little while back, and people are predicting and 3 years from now, Democrats are going to be like, whoa, we didn't want any of the lockdowns.
Yeah.
That was you guys. So be prepared for that gaslighting situation.
Lots of gaslighting. Jen Psaki even said that the congestion and
run it?
Yeah, run it.
So truckers in Canada last night.
Jen Psaki, a very fair and balanced person. This is what she had to say.
Shut down the Ambassador Bridge, which carries about a quarter of U.S.-Canada trade in goods. So what's the administration's response to this action, and what steps are being taken to ensure the free flow of goods, and also any preventative steps being taken to address a possible blockade on the Michigan side of that bridge?
Well, let me first start by saying I know there's been some suggestion, not by reporters necessarily at all, but that this congestion is related to the vaccine requirements. It's not. I'm saying I'm going to get to the protests, but the protests...
It is, but it's not.
Going on across Canada, which have spread to a bridge, are leading to sporadic congestion and blockages. I would, just to go back to my point I was trying to make, is that across what we've seen with these requirements is across a range of industries, vaccination requirements have been implemented with no disruptions, have helped increase vaccination.
Yeah, so we were able to get some of you vaccinated without you fighting back for a while, but, you know, not this one. This one we couldn't quite rein in.
Absolutely gaslighting. Oh, it's not about that. Well, it is, and I think we're going to soon see how it really is.
It's only about that, Jen. How about
It's
that?
actually the opposite, Jen. It's only
Jen,
about
you couldn't
that.
be more wrong, so let's just help you out here. But yeah, I mean, that's her job. That's what she gets paid to do, is to gaslight and deflect and make it minimize. So, you know, and it's our job to counteract that and show you the truth.
She's a pro. She's a high-end stooge.
Oh, she's great. She's great at eating bullets and just like... Actually, that might be bad, but she's great at just eating questions and doing all the hard stuff. So, I mean, don't expect anything fair or honest from young Jen.
Yep. High-class stooge for hire. She's great. And everyone who's a trucker or involved in the protest, the whole world is watching. Keep holding the line. I know you guys are. They're stealing the gas and trying to do all these things that are illegal in a lot of situations.
The laws go out the door in an emergency situation.
But that's just them flailing, so keep holding the line. The whole world's watching. Keep keeping it 100.
Oh, also to the police.
You guys are the best.
The police, Shame on you.
Yeah.
If you're enforcing any of this, shame on you.
Exactly. There's going to be a time where the police are going to have to make a choice. The protest is going to keep happening, and the police and firefighters are either going to respond by joining the protest or arresting all the truckers and being the worst. So we back the blue. We love the police, but once you cross this line and take the wrong stance on COVID, we're going to hate the police.
Did you see that meme that was like, December 2021, we're going to make it painful for you, unvaccinated. We're going to make life hard.
Yeah.
We're going to crush you. And then January and February 2022 is all of a sudden like, no, the honking. This is crazy.
Why won't the honking stop?
I'm uncomfortable. So you get what you ask for. You get what you put out there. So
and also, sorry to interrupt, the honking stops at like 10 o'clock at night. People think it goes all night and people are staying up. I'm sure there's some honking, but for the most part, it's a during the day thing.
Good.
Because people know there's families and
imagine the podcast was in Ottawa. We'd just be like, fuck.
That would be an interesting week.
Yeah.
Just the horns in the background. That would actually be pretty epic. Moving on. Mel Gibson got a flat tire.
This is like my favorite content, and I don't even know what kind of content it's called. But here, we'll let it play.
Celebrities in the wild.
Language barrier, celebrities in the wild, no boundaries.
I am here helping my friend Mel Gibson.
Helping my friend Mel Gibson. He immediately is his friend.
Helping my friend Mel Gibson.
And El Patriota.
Mel Gibson. Are you Mel Gibson?
Yes. You Mel Gibson? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
This guy's loving it.
You perform in the Patriota?
The Patriota. You perform in the Patriota.
The Patriot?
I did.
I did.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Long time ago, yeah.
So they're buddies.
Why are you alone?
Huh?
Why are you alone?
Why are you?
I am alone because I'm not famous.
I like being alone.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, my God, this lucky day for me.
I don't know.
So these guys are
What if I
buddies.
rob you?
What if I rob you? Mel Gibson's doing bits.
And that's the American dream. That guy is from some other country. He came here.
Yeah,
And
barely
now he
speaks
gets to
English.
see Mel Gibson change a tire on the side of the road.
Yeah. This content is so funny to me because it's just one of those situations where like you're invading someone's privacy so much, but Mel Gibson's being chill about it and like doesn't mind. Because this guy's like a nice guy, you know, whatever. And Mel Gibson's like, will you hold the lamp for me? Hold the light for me.
Sweating, changing a tire, and now someone's just filming you.
Yep.
Light in your face in your kind of worst moment.
And Mel Gibson's a pickup truck guy and he's loving it.
El Patriota.
Patriota. This guy got off. Yeah, you are Mel Gibson. So yeah, Mel Gibson, overall good guy. Didn't get mad at what honestly anybody would be mad at someone doing. Just going, are you Mel Gibson? El Patriota. So that's good
Mel
shit.
Gibson, good guy, 10 out of 10. Moving on. This week's cringe.
Just overall good guy. End it there.
Yeah, we liked that. We liked that very much. Moving on. This week's cringe of the week. All right, for Cringe of the Week, we have a bunch of clips this week. We've been doing multiple Cringe of the Week clips because that's the most fun stuff. It's the craziest, most fun stuff you see. So we've been really upping the amount of clips we're showing each week. You have to.
Yeah, it's good. It shows you where society's going in waves, or at least one sector of society. So, ready for it?
Yep. First
So
one.
if the only reason you don't want to date someone boils down to the fact that they're trans, that's transphobia right there. Let's go over a couple of situations.
That's actually the number one reason I wouldn't date somebody is if they had a penis.
Yeah, that's the only categorical thing that I need.
You need
human
to be
woman.
Human woman, female only.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of work from there.
Also, I'm getting the vibe this guy who's pretending to be a girl doesn't get many dates. So this is kind of a projection issue.
Yeah, he's not getting many dates. And why is the reason? Not because he's got some issues that he's not worked out yet. It's because people are transphobic.
So if you don't want to date a trans woman because you want kids, well, you better be keeping that same attitude with cis women who are infertile, or that's transphobia. If you don't want...
Well, no. One is a woman who can't have children, and one is a man with a penis.
in a dress.
So keep that same energy. It's like
no, the energy's not the same.
There's no synergy here.
Yeah, so this guy's getting no dates. And what happened? Transphobic? Phobic? Shouldn't that be reserved for like somebody who's like, I'm hunting trannies tonight?
Yeah.
Like
back in the day, the phobias used to be basically hate crimes.
You were teetering on a hate crime.
Like in the 90s, if you're homophobic, it's like you beat up the gay kid behind the school or something.
Yeah, and now it's like you're not dating a girl with a penis.
And it's state-enforced homosexuality, like Sam Hyde called. And also, it's like the beginning, it was, use our pronouns. We're living our life and our experience, and then you have to use our pronouns. And people were like, whatever. And then it's like, after that, it became we need to be able to teach your kids what LGBT is, and the kids need to learn about that. And if you don't do that, you're transphobic. And it's like, okay. And now it's like, now you need to fuck us. You need to fuck us.
And I never said okay to that second one either.
Yeah.
So they kind of snuck that by.
I haven't said okay to any of them.
Yeah.
I've kind of done the pronouns because I just like go either way. We'll call this guy a guy. We'll call her her. Like I don't take it that seriously.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the slippery slope.
Because you're not attracted to trans women, I would absolutely love to know how you're able to identify correctly who is a trans woman on site 100% of the time, because that is just impressive. I wish I had.
I can go pretty much 99 out of 100.
Yeah, I can go a lot.
And if I get one wrong, I'll go, ooh.
Don't fucking touch me.
You're out 10-2. I thought you were in the yes category. You're in the no category. Yeah. It's an immediate disqualifier.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a controversial place or a controversial thing to say. If you want to date a trans person, go ahead. I will not date a biological male. Ever.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
All right, should we let him keep going or should we cut this guy off?
I think he said enough.
Yeah, let's shut him up.
Yeah. And which moves on to our next cringe of the week, a father-son trans whatever combo. Check this out. And this is the father and son doing a TikTok reacting to the question, why does he look good in a skirt?
When you say, why does he look good in a skirt, who is he?
Your
Maybe
son.
he's talking about you. Maybe you should wear a kilt.
I would look good in a kilt.
You
I got nice legs.
You would look.
The people are commenting, why does your kid look good in a skirt?
Yeah, isn't that a pedophile thing?
What place?
So,
what kind of place
Let's
is
just
this?
go ahead and address this, because for some reason right now this seems to be like the biggest question on the internet. Mo
Yeah?
is not a boy.
You are not a good father.
Dude, at Mo, it's like this twitchy little kid doing weird stuff on camera. It's like clearly there's something wrong and you're letting all his weird energy go towards what you're involved in, which is accepting weird dad stuff. This guy, look at the dead eyes on this guy.
Well, I want to Oklahoma drill this guy.
Are you?
Line up.
No.
No.
Today I am.
Today Mo is a boy.
That's why I'm wearing this.
Mo, are you a girl?
No.
No. Why
But
not?
sometimes I am, because I'm
Sometimes.
gender fluid.
You're gender fluid. What pronouns do you prefer?
They, them.
They,
They, them, like a little cadet.
If you're gonna
like,
come
who's
here and comment,
reading
use
flashcards.
they, them at least.
Gender fluid sounds disgusting.
So the dad did this.
Yeah. The dad.
Where does the kid get this information from?
Yeah. Gender fluid sounds like it's like,
Disgusting oil change.
yeah, we just got into the hotel room after the gay and trans people left. There's gender fluid everywhere. they're not getting their deposit back. There's gender fluid everywhere.
I shined a blue light on my hotel room. There's gender fluid all over the fucking place. So, poor kid, destined for muppetry.
Poor kid. It's like put the kid in the base. I was gonna say put the kid in the baseball team. I don't even know if it might be too late. Put that kid in the sun.
It probably is too late.
The kid's very pale. The dad is too. Let's just start there. Let's get some sun and take some walks.
And they're doing bits like there's this sort of sassy, like, we're clapping back at you. You used the wrong thing. You said he.
There's no he here.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucking idiot.
We're clapping back. Yeah, you guys suck.
You guys suck.
And you know what? You're so boring too. You're not even interesting. This is like this is your claim to fame or whatever, being the unique. Boring.
Yeah, and it's all just like calling out misunderstandings on TikTok.
Yeah. Good content. Enjoy.
Yeah. And we're going to wrap the cringe of the week up with some really good points about why these people exist and why they're so empowered and why they're so passionate. So play the next pink-haired clown clip.
Pink hair.
Hi, I wasn't planning on posting again today, but I just need to fucking say something.
Oh, you just need to say something? It's like, this is the attitude. We'll get to it. Keep playing.
Non-binary and gender fluid people, anyone, like, they don't fucking owe you androgyny. Period. I'm getting so sick of seeing like a fucking threads of comments in my comment section being like, well, she looks like that, so she can't go by they, them pronoun. Fuck you, I've been going by they, them pronouns for 4 years now. I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, you're playing Harry Potter and you're making everyone play along.
Yeah, you thought you were a Slytherin, now you're a Gryffindor, and it's all made up.
People are still calling you Slytherin. Play the next one too, and then we're gonna wrap it up with the overarching theme.
So apparently people in the comments are confused on my gender and pronouns. So here's another video for the people who are respectfully asked.
You can just pause it there.
We don't even need to hear anything else.
We don't need to hear anything else. The theme in all of these videos, the trans person, the dad with the kid, the pink hair clown, and then this person, the overarching theme is there's an audience.
Yeah.
Oh, people are asking, so I thought I'd clear it up. Or I wasn't going to make a video. I just needed to hop on to say something. There's an audience.
They're clamoring for answers.
And why is there an audience? It's not because it's a meritocracy and you're posting good, interesting content. It's because you're using TikTok, the Chinese spy propaganda app, and you're getting artificially juiced in the algorithm because you're posting degenerate shit. And it's going to ruin America.
You're posting shit that maybe not right now, but 25 years from now will have a devastating effect on the American military and populace.
Exactly. So all these people, like in China, just laughs. They laugh at us.
China loves it.
And these things go viral and they keep going. And then now you have an audience. And now you have to like maintain your character you're playing. Oh, I'm trans. I'm a demi-queer pan boy. And now you have to keep doing that because you're going viral. You're getting likes. You're getting retweets. You're getting shares. And it's because the algorithm is purposely rewarding this. So now these people are like, they're hijacking these people's brains and getting them addicted to these dopamine squirts.
Oh, yeah. If we can't get you on fentanyl, we're coming in the back door on TikTok.
Yeah, so if you're a normal person, just take fentanyl and die like everyone else.
Yeah, just,
And if you're a borderline weird kid, there's a great community online environment for you that will reward this weird behavior. And I actually saw an article came out.
Outcasts are being funneled to this, too. Like, if you're an outcast anyway, on athletic, on whatever, you're just funneled to gender shit.
And you're artificially propped up, and now you have an audience that you now feel obligated to continue to share to. Because it used to be like, oh, I'm trans and I go by he, they. And someone go, I don't fucking care. Like, go, like, you're next in line, paper or plastic.
Still my reaction.
Yeah, paper or plastic, they, I don't really care. Like, this isn't like good content and this is not rewarding. We're not solving any problems. No one really cares. If we had less of this, it'd be better. And because that's the case, China rewards this with the TikTok Chinese spyware app. So now all these people are going viral. And now they have these audiences they have to maintain. And I go, I'll do another video tomorrow to check back in with my audience and tell them how someone was rude to me at CVS and called me she.
People are just clamoring for it.
Yeah, exactly. So now you have these people whose brains are now hijacked, addicted to dopamine, and it's because the Chinese spyware app did algorithm adjustments for America. And it's going to lead to more confused kids. There was an article that came out the other day. It said 40% of Gen Z Christian kids identify within the LGBTQIAA whatever and eventually P community.
Yikes. You're not Christian if you're doing that shit.
Why is that? It's because now everyone's more aware of it and they're seeing this more than they would usually, and it's literally contagious.
Yeah, it definitely is. Did you see that video from comedian Andrew Schultz that was going viral? It's kind of on this topic. Basically, he said that in America, TikTok rewards twerking and gender bullshit and, stupid equality or equity type conversations. But then in China, you go on TikTok and on your For You page, all it is like kids with cool engineering projects, like discipline or like choreographed
straight
stuff.
A's at MIT.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually having an effect on kids. And as we've seen with that stat you said, all this shit is an outlet for outcasts, and kids are being funneled into this stuff when they would not ever normally be this. Like if you put any of these kids back in 1981, almost zero would be transgender because it's just like there's no community there. There's no internet hole to get sucked in. There's no contagion.
There's no, yeah, me too. Oh, you're right. They're wrong. It's like, get the fuck out of the way.
In 1981, you'd have to be actually brave.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm coming out for attention with my teacher. And then they have to call me my new stuff. So it's kind of a power play too. It's like I have no control, I have no power. What can I do? How can I take power back? Let's make everybody call me something weird that I know they don't want to call me. Mm-hmm. It's an easy way to get it done.
And they get rewarded for it, and they've completely hijacked this next generation. They send fentanyl over, and then they, on the backside, do this. So our youth is under attack directly from China. And it's not looking good.
Not looking great. We're losing.
You know what is looking good?
What?
Shirts from ShopFleccas.com, best merch in the game. We have Trader Joe's, which I'm wearing right now. We have Become Unpinnable, Kid Thrasher, Crenshaw Sucks. All these shirts are still available. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. 15% off when you use code Jerry. It goes a long way. It supports the show. We had a great few weeks during the holidays. We had a good couple weeks after that with the Crenshaw Sucks and the Kid Thrasher shirt. And then the sales kind of went down a little bit. So please keep buying the shirts. Because in the beginning, it looked like a great business model and made total sense. And now, we're losing money on the episode. So shopfleccas.com, best merch in the game. Get it while you still can. Moving on to the most important section, and probably the biggest chunk of the show, the Joe Rogan section.
Yeah.
So
it's coming out a little late, but
coming out a little late, but we're going to give you the best take there is, and we're going to just basically say the truth and what's really going on. So if you haven't been paying attention, neither have I really. It sounds like Joe Rogan's just been saying the N-word willy-nilly.
He's been ringing that register.
Goosey, ringing the register, says it all the time, calls his friends that. We all do. That's normal. I'm just kidding. That's not what happened. That's
the take.
The take is, we all do it. Who cares? So basically, a old compilation video of Joe Rogan saying the N-word came out where he just said it a bunch of times through like years of podcasting.
Yeah.
And the reason it came out was because it was pushed by a left-wing super PAC that was doing the biddings of corporations, Marxists, and the powers that be. Mm-hmm. And the reason they're attacking him for that, calling him racist, is because Joe Rogan had on Dr. Malone and Dr. McCullough, who blew the narrative up on COVID. They just completely killed it. Mm-hmm. They destroyed lockdowns, vaccines, mandates, everything, treatments. They really covered it. And everyone started saying, oh, Joe Rogan's spreading misinformation. Joe Rogan's spreading misinformation. Okay. What's the misinformation?
Yeah, can you please tell me?
Like I keep hearing he did that. Oh, misinformation, he's dangerous, he's going to get people killed. What was the misinformation? No answer. So that didn't work. That didn't stick. No one believed it. So now they're attacking him and saying he's racist because he said the N-word 20 years ago. And it's interesting because Joe Rogan saying the N-word when he did, like in the 2000s or whatever, is actually a sign of the times. It shows that we were less, as a country, America was less concerned about the N-word then than now. It's like proof he was just being edgy and like saying a word that people are kind of scared of.
And most of them were quoting other people as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Exactly. And he would just say it. Like if he was going to say the N-word, instead of saying the N-word, he would just say it. And, you know, everyone's pretending to get offended now. But the question is, who's actually mad at Joe Rogan?
Yep.
Nobody. The corporations and the communists and the people from Cringe of the Week.
Yeah.
Though they're upset.
They're the whistleblowers. That's where the community comes in.
They're the useful idiots that you'll need for situations like this who are going to go get mad and pretend to get upset. Bill Cosby's on Spotify. Art Kelly's on Spotify. Chris Brown's on Spotify. No big deal there.
Yeah.
This is the problem. Listen to what Trevor Noah said about it.
For the most part, as a white person, you never need to use the N-word. Right? There's no need. For example, I've gone this entire story saying the N-word, and everyone has understood exactly what I've meant, right? Nobody's sitting at home going, Nutella? Neanderthal? Nelly Furtado? Why is Trevor being so vague? What is the word? In fact, here's a life hack for white people. Saying the actual N-word puts you in unnecessary trouble, especially if you're not racist. It doesn't matter the context, because black people don't have the time to sit down and sort out the racist who says the N-word 70 times with the non-racist who says the N-word 70 times. Black people are dealing with too much shit. No, look at how I was using it. No, dude, no one's got the time for that. Just stop saying it, or just be racist. It's easier for everyone that way.
Black people have enough to deal with that they can't figure out if your use of the N-word is racist or not, so they're going to assume it's racist. But they have enough to deal with. Black people have enough to deal with. What? The fake hate crimes? Jussie Smollett, Bubba Wallace, the fake noose?
Yeah.
Not getting in trouble for driving through a Christmas parade? What are they dealing with?
Trevor Noah is not even like an African American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a South African who came over and now has lived in a really nice house the entire time. So
Yeah.
Can't really relate to the experience other than what the scriptwriters write for him.
Yeah, and it's interesting because everyone gives so much reverence to the N-word.
Yeah, it's the only one that totally can't be said, right? Like,
which I think is racist in itself.
Yep.
Because you're basically saying, oh, you know, if you say that to a black person, they won't be able to help themselves. They won't be able to control themselves. And whatever happens is your fault.
Yeah.
But it's like, if your kid gets murdered and you go to court and you face your child's murderer, you're expected to kind of like be normal and stand there and be civil in that situation.
Yeah, you read a script, you read
and you watch that, you know, and it's like, that's a tough situation. But the N-word, that's too far. They can't help themselves.
Yep.
This actually happens.
Physical assault happens immediately after, and that's what you should expect in society.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
exactly. And that happened to us in college. There was a guy in the football team who got called the N-word by some drunk, rich, idiot white kid who was like a boarding school.
Yeah.
Like prep school, boarding school, hammered, blacked out idiot. And he called the black kid the N-word. And then the black kid punched him. And then
somebody else punched him, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody else punched him
Who
on behalf.
heard it on behalf. So then our coach heard about this and was like, well, you know, I heard that someone was called the N-word and then fists got thrown. You know, I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
I can kind of understand.
Kid got suspended.
You got suspended, thrown out of school.
You can't swing on
people. You don't
people.
punch people. No matter what they say, no matter what you say to me.
You don't say the N-word.
I won't assault you.
And then you don't swing on people either. And then one doesn't let you do the other.
Exactly. And it's like everyone needs to be held to the same standards. If you hear a word you don't like, you go crazy. You go nuts. You can't control yourself.
You just start ripping off your shirt and you're ready to fight.
So yeah, there's too much reverence there. And it's like back in the day, racists were the KKK people. They were Nazis, the people from Deliverance, you know, whoever. Yeah. It's like racism is everywhere and nowhere now. It's in our institutions. It's systematic. It's everywhere you look. There's racism. But if you look closely at every example, like we said before, Jussie Smollett, Bubba Wallace, all these fake hate crimes are like what they point to. So racism is so important. Racism needs to be the front of every conversation.
It's the single issue driving America today.
Yeah, it's the most important thing. White supremacy is worse than ever. But all the proof of racism is like debunked stories. And you know what isn't racist?
What?
Joe Biden saying the N-word.
Yeah, no, that's clean.
Joe Biden doing the eulogy of Robert Byrd.
Also clean.
KKK Grandmaster.
It was a different time, dude.
Not racist.
It was a different
time. That's not racist. Racist is Joe Rogan saying it in 2006.
Because we clipped it up.
Yeah.
And told you to be mad. I actually like how much of the controversy once it was released was like, who made this fucking video? You know, people are waking up to like the waves of trying to cancel someone. And it's like, this is bullshit. Joe Rogan's a balanced guy. He has guests on for long form podcasts where they talk for hours and he smokes joints and he takes magic mushrooms every once in a while. It's like, dude, this guy's a threat, clearly, because he gets 10x the viewership of CNN. But it's just so stupid. People are waking up to it now. And it's like, why are they trying to cancel him instead of, ooh, what did he do? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, who's this group behind it?
Exactly.
Which I love to see, the evolution.
And that is a huge difference. Like, there's going to be a big difference in the way people are handling these attacks. Like, back in the day, I remember, like, I got fact-checked in, like, 2017 or 2018. And at the time, I was like, oh, man, I'm so nervous. Like, there was one word that was wrong. Someone read a thing on the teleprompter, and it was like, they said mass shootings instead of just shootings. Like, they said that they didn't read the word. And I got fact-checked for one word.
Yeah.
Even though the script was correct and the person misspoke. So it's like, okay, I guess the word's kind of off, whatever. I was so nervous and so like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm fact checked. Everyone's going to see this. This looks so bad. Now no one cares about fact checks.
Yeah, they oversaturated it.
And now I'm like, fact check me. Like, it's just a sign that I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I see an Instagram photo that's got the partly false information. I'm like, all right, let me get in on this.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
They're doing.
Let's see what the truth is. So it's like the same thing for this. It's like you're going to call someone racist, and years ago that would be like, oh no, I don't want to be racist. That's so bad. Now it's like a sign that you're on the right side.
Yeah.
Because racism in America isn't worse now than it's ever been. It's just there's so much more attention around it, and it's being manipulated and drummed up by the media.
We were like, this is the graph going down racism, down 90s, 2000s. Man, things are pretty good. Everything's great. And then it's like 2010, whoop, never mind. We need to turn the faucet back on. So
yeah. I treat everyone equally. I don't ever plan on getting attacked for something I say. I think people should be able to keep it together. And if they hear a word they don't like, they can just move on. If someone...
Be an adult?
Yeah, be an adult. So, but it's like, if we keep saying like, oh, you know, Joe, some people get upset and I can kind of understand. Now we're like giving fuel to the fire. The weapon that's being used against us is false racism. So if they call us a racist and all these things, the corporations are doing it. They're obviously pushing a narrative. They're doing it for an ulterior motive. But if we don't stop that, right, and nip it in the bud, now that weapon is going to continue to be used against us. Like, oh, everyone's upset. I can kind of understand where they're coming from. And if you give too much reverence to the word, you're just going to continue to allow them to use the accusation of racism as a tool against us, which is a problem.
And the word, it's on a ton of songs that are on Spotify.
Yeah.
So are you having a meltdown when you hear that? Like,
yeah. You know what's interesting? The word trigger. If you get rid of the T, R, and then the rest, R is half of an N. So it's like 7.5 out of 8 of the N word.
Jeez.
And that word's going to have to get canceled soon. So soon
and it's on a gun. Oh my God.
And
it's
the
on a
T
gun.
could be like a cross that hasn't been burned yet by the KKK.
Oh my. Fuck. This symbolism is too much. We got to get the word out.
So it's like now it's going to be like, oh, satellite words that orbit the word, like words that sound like the word, words
it's
that
like
look like the
fuck
word.
Joe Biden to let's go Brandon. Now they're going to have to do that for everything.
Yeah. And then people at Spotify are pretending to be upset. Listen to what the Spotify CEO said.
That's my only angle of this is, can we be adults here? And so here, I'll read it. Spotify team, there are no words I can say to adequately convey how deeply sorry I am for the way the Joe Rogan Experience controversy continues to impact each of you. Not only are some of Joe Rogan's comments incredibly hurtful, I want to make clear that they do not represent the values of this company.
It's like now you're looking out for everybody. Didn't you force everyone to get an injection and a vaccine? And no one felt under the gun there. No one felt abused there.
Yeah, dude. Like, you have to spell it out that this guy getting caught in a compilation video saying the N-word doesn't represent your company. Like, it's a given.
Are the Spotify employees just like moping around the office? Like, Joe Rogan said the N-word in 2006, man.
How can I work here?
How can I live like this?
I know this situation leaves many of you feeling drained, frustrated, and unheard. I think it's important you're aware that we've had conversations with Joe and his team about some of the recent content in his show, including his history of using some racially insensitive language. Following these discussions and his own reflections, he chose to remove a number of episodes of Spotify's. He also issued an apology over the weekend.
Oh, you're hurting.
Grow up.
Exactly. You're treating these people like children.
Were you weeping during Django Unchained? Like what? Like what? Can you so you can't hear the word, or like what's the problem?
You're hurting.
I get it. He did the wrong thing. He did the bad thing. But are you, ow, are you just like in pain now?
Yeah, they're hurting. They're hurting because Joe Rogan said the N-word in 2006. I can't keep working here. Get the fuck out. You're fired. You're a mid-level employee. You're probably a diversity hire. And if you're moping around because Joe Rogan said the N-word in 2006 and now you're all worked up for it, you're too mentally weak to work here. Pack up your shit and go. You're fucking fired.
But that's not the way it works. The clowns run the circus now, and the public pressure is just too much sometimes.
That's so true. This is what Darren Beatty said. He actually had a great tweet. He had a great tweet that summed it up perfectly. He said, this is from a while ago, and he just retweeted it. In the failed and humiliated globalist American empire, shouting the N-word is considered a bigger deal than wasting trillions of dollars and losing a war. Isn't that the truest thing you ever heard?
Yep.
All of our problems are solved. Now we have to get to, let's see, Joe Rogan 2008 saying the N-word when quoting something.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
It's a total distraction show. Like, it's look over here while we do something over here, and everyone falls for it, I guess.
Yeah. It's a good time to be a black person, though, because now your voices are prioritized over everybody.
We should get snacks in the commissary. Like, I'm feeling bad.
I'm feeling bad.
Yeah.
How come we don't ever order Chick-fil-A on Fridays and the bosses pay for it?
Yo, make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
all right, I'm cool with that.
And until we stop calling it out, the fake racism is just going to continue to be used by the ruling class to get rid of their political opponents and create narratives. And everyone pretends to care, but they don't. No one's actually offended. And it leads to this. Everyone's trying to come for Joe Rogan's head. I hope he doesn't cave in. I hope Spotify doesn't.
He's not. He's uncancelable, right? Like, it's over.
Yeah, he's uncancelable. And there'll be opportunities that pop up if he is. Rumble offered him $100 million because he said the N-word. There's two different sides to this.
Rumble loves the N-word.
Rumble loves the N-word. They'll give you $100 million if you say it. So it's like, just because Spotify is being a little soft doesn't mean there's not going to be an opportunity on the backside.
Yeah. And then notice all this Joe Rogan stuff comes up once he signs a mega corporate deal. Mm-hmm. It's like back when he was an independent guy, it didn't matter. But now it's coming in waves. Next week is sexism. Week after that is transphobia again.
Yeah. The employees at Spotify are hurting.
Dude, they're all hurting in their pods just going, how can you do this?
I don't want to keep telling college stories, but there was one time in college during football where I dislocated my thumb for a second. Like, it went backwards all the way, out of the socket, went back in, and it was in the beginning of a game. And then I had to tape it up and then continued to hit people with that hand for every play for the rest of the game and then the rest of the season.
Were you hurting?
That was hurting. That hurt.
That counts.
I've had all my money in fucking space coins for the last month. For the last month, I have all my money's in space coins. That's been hurting.
Ow.
I've been hurting from that.
Ow.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Not something someone said years ago.
Not a 6-letter word.
Not a 6-letter word from 2008 and Joe Rogan. Because the thing with Joe Rogan, too, you're either racist or you're not.
Yeah.
You can be a racist and never say the N-word.
Yeah, you can be a smart racist and get away with it, right?
And you're still a racist.
Yeah.
Or you could be not a racist and say the N-word 1,000,000 times and still not be a racist, like Huck Finn or whatever. Is that
Mark
Huck Finn?
Twain? Yeah, I mean Mark
Twain. Is Huck Finn? Huck Finn's the kid.
That's a book. It's one of his books, yeah. Huckleberry Finn and then Tom Sawyer.
And then he was calling N-word Tom the whole time.
Yeah. N-word Tom is a character in this.
See?
I read that out loud in like elementary school or something. Yeah.
You're about to get canceled on the podcast.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So you said that
You
out
still
loud.
haven't got me to say it though either, and you have no plan.
Stay till the end. Richard Rappaway's going to say the N-word, I promise.
Nope.
I promise.
But yeah, we were reading that in school, and they want to cancel that too.
Yeah. And my theory for all this is, if something I say offends you, call me.
Yo, call me.
And talk to me. And I'll explain it, and you'll hear it in my voice and my tone. You'll feel my heart, how I feel about it, and you'll go, okay, he's not racist. He just made an insensitive joke, or he just said that one time.
And sometimes at the end, we'll probably disagree too. Like, I think that kind of sounded racist. It's like, well, I had no bad intent or whatever.
And I can explain it. Give me a call. I'll explain it.
Yeah.
If you don't have my number, you getting worked up is kind of a waste of your time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you.
Go do something productive.
Get tough. Go do something else. Go
It always
outside.
falls back on toughness and, not being a total baby loser. Like, oh my God, these Spotify employees. I know you're hurting.
Yeah, I know you're hurting.
You're in pain.
You know how I know I'm not racist?
How?
My alternate personality, my alt, Fleccas' alt, is a Rob Smith superfan. And you can't be racist if you are obsessed with a black person. Let's take a quick look. Look at this trailer. This is Richard Rappaway and Rob in a picture together.
I didn't even realize Rob was in the background of that photo.
They're both my best friends. Richard Rappaway, there's Rob. It's cool when your best friends are friends too. It's like, makes life fun,
I don't know where this all started.
It's my Rob Nook. Our best friend.
You can't tell the difference until he starts talking.
It's like he's hugging you.
Your power will be shut off in 36 hours.
You ever see that movie Split with M. Night Shyamalan? Kind of reminds me of that.
What does this call have to do with Rob, man? There's no one. So me and Richard Rapboy and Rob, we're all best friends. And
I don't think that's true, buddy, but okay. That's fine.
yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's fine. So if you guys like that little mini doc trailer, we have an 8-minute video that we filmed this week. It's on Patreon and YouTube Join. Click here, YouTube Join. Links are in the description, and you can check it out. It's some bonus content. This week's bonus content is that.
We're going to be doing stuff like that going forward.
Yep.
Different bonus content.
Every week we're going to give you some bonus content, whether it's more talking on the show or some sketches or some stuff like this. Our favorite funny stuff to make. It's like my favorite thing I've ever made, but a lot of times when I do that, it doesn't necessarily translate to the most viral.
It's not, and it's not.
It's not.
It's not viral.
But if you want to see,
if you like your sense of humor, if you like Fleccas content, this is going to be
if you want to see true life, I'm obsessed with Rob Smith. And it's my alt, not me. It's my alt.
It doesn't count for him.
That is where you want to go. So go check that out today. You're going to like it, I promise. Let's take a look at what they're teaching the kids. Because I always say, get tough, get tough. That's the answer to this. Get tough. The world's not against you. Get tough.
So I see in China, all the kids are dribbling basketballs in coordinated ways. And, they seem to be getting tough.
They're getting tough. They're getting smart. Let's see if we're preparing the next generation with the tools they'll need to succeed in a hardened world.
I'm a 7-year-old kid. I toss on Disney Junior.
Let's see what they're teaching.
What comes up?
Bye, Mom. Hey, Gabrielle. I didn't know that was your mom. Your skin is so much darker than hers. Hold it. Did that comment make you feel uncomfortable? That's a microaggression. What's a microaggression? A microaggression.
Oh, we're teaching the kids
microaggression. Someone
microaggression.
says or does something that makes you feel bad. Sometimes just because of your race. But you know what? He's wrong. You should be proud of
Kill
yourself.
Whitey.
So they're teaching microaggressions.
He said that awful thing you don't know what to do. And it's like, I thought it was a microaggression. Is it an awful thing? Is it a career ender? What are we talking here?
And it's all because you're uncomfortable. And it's like, are you even uncomfortable? Like if you were a kid and your dad was black and your mom was white and someone goes, oh, that's your mom? Her skin's so much lighter than yours.
The first thing I
would go, oh, yeah, my dad's black.
Yeah. The first thing I need to do is check, did that comment jive with reality? If it did, then it's not really a microaggression. Maybe you just need to toughen up or be like, nah, I didn't really like that. Maybe that guy's not my friend.
Yeah. Or explain it to him. He's a kid and like, why is your dad fat? You know, like it's like he's a kid. And it's like it teaches the kids that you can always revert back to being offended. It's so easy to be offended.
Oh, yeah.
I could walk on the street and with my dog, and if someone gets out of my way, I can be like, why'd you get out of the way? Because I'm a fat fuck taking up too much space. Taking up too much space for you to walk. Is that it?
Very narcissistic, too.
And it's like, well, yeah, exactly. It's all about me and how I'm offended. And because I'm a person of color, I have to be prioritized. And like everywhere you look, you can be offended by every single thing. I can be offended by the way they put the mail in the mailbox.
Yeah. Oh, the way she handed me back my credit card. It's because of my beard, right?
Yeah. So
just made up.
I don't like to live like that, and I don't think it's good to teach people to live like that because once you get into the victim mindset, which we know, it's very hard to get out. So once you start looking and going, ooh, the way he said that, that's because I'm black, or ooh, the way he said that, that's because of my gender, and you start doing all these things, you'll be busy.
Yeah.
You'll convince yourself that every single thing is a microaggression, and if you're taught that as a kid, when you're 3 years old, now you're on microaggression alert. That's what you're looking for. And you'll find it everywhere.
You think about, yeah,
especially
exactly.
with kids. Kids are a little offensive. They don't know what they're saying. They're figuring the world out. So it's like when you give them this tool, it's like the worst tool ever. It's the reverse wheel.
These kids are going to be offended. They're going to be busy doing gender stuff. They're not going to reproduce. There's going to be like a really weak generation that has no kids. And then at the end of it, they're going to go, wow, none of you guys had kids. We got to open up the borders. Let's just bring them in, more like brown people or whatever.
And then that generation of whatever kids there are, after they let all the people come across and give them amnesty, are going to really look out for everyone, making sure they're not getting offended. Oh, you can't say that to the illegal immigrant. Oh, you can't say that about these people. So they're going to be the little police force, the microaggression police force.
Good little cadets.
Yep. And that's bad. And that's why you never apologize to anyone for anything.
Yeah.
If you have to make an apology, it should be to family or to friends in person.
Yeah.
There's really never a reason
public
to do a public apology. Unless you were like blacked out drunk and you did like, you videoed you smashing someone's window or something. Like there's really not many situations where like people are waiting for your apology.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You don't apologize to the internet.
Yeah. No one's mad. The only people you're apologizing to are the Muppet leftists who's got George Soros up their butt, working their head like a puppet.
Yep.
And it actually, when you apologize, you remove your base a little bit. You kind of like dislocate your base.
That's very true.
If Joe Rogan's going to come out and apologize, it's like now I'm less likely to defend him because it makes me look like I'm siding with what he apologized for.
Yeah.
Which we actually are, because I don't care about the N-word.
Yeah. I don't start shaking.
Because he was like, oh, it was so bad, I shouldn't have done that. It's like, Joe, you did it. You did the mental math at the time in 2000 whatever. It's a little bit of a presentism thing where we're giving like present day moral values.
Yeah, we're weighing it 80% towards modern day, 0% towards.
And it's like, whoa, N-word, like who would ever say that? Because of like George Floyd and all the stupid stuff that we're having to deal with in the news now. But in 2006 or 2008, you were being edgy and cool, and you already did the mental math to get there and say this is an acceptable bit. This is an acceptable thing to say. So when you apologize, you dislocate your base. Now people that were going to defend you are not defending you, and the people who are you're apologizing to are not actually offended. You're apologizing to George Soros and the Muppets he controls. And you have like people like The Rock now coming out and saying, oh, I don't agree with what he said. Thank you for making me aware of this. The only thing...
Mahalo, brother.
Yeah, mahalo, brother. Mahalo. Mahalo, brother.
Hey, mahalo, brother.
Have
Thanks.
a productive weekend. Mahalo, brother. And it's like the Rock is not a Chad. He's gigantic. He's huge, but he's pinnable.
Well,
he's pinnable.
Yeah.
Because this is him getting pinned. Him coming out to his friend Joe Rogan and saying,
getting pinned by a blue check on Twitter still counts as getting pinned.
Exactly. The guy's a literal wrestler. He's very pinnable. And
we've always had the joke too, me and you. The Rock is not a role model. He juices out of his mind. The Rock takes steroids. 100% not natty.
He's a leader of what, the boat cruise that's shot in the studio in Burbank. He's the leader of a fake boat cruise.
He shoots 3 Jungle Cruise movies a year.
Yeah, he's the leader of the boat in Burbank in the fake studio green screen, like us. So yeah, people like that are the worst. Mahalo, brother. He's controlled by the communists. He's already sold out, and it's
when you get $25 million a movie, you sell out. So part of this also, in terms of recognizing who is trying to cancel someone, is also recognizing who is just not going to say anything because the money's too good. If I got $30 million a movie and all I do is show up in Burbank and shoot it on a green screen like this, I'd be shutting the fuck up too.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Joe Rogan, he needs to be fired.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to tweet it, but if somebody said, "Hey, you want the fucking movie? You want 30 mil?" You're a lot easier to control when you got 30 mil on the hook or whatever. So
true. And maybe the standards are fairly applied. Maybe everyone has to deal with this. Let's Google Joe Biden N-word and see what comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all Joe Rogan articles. Even though Joe Biden said it a million times too. And he was actually dog whistling. He liked saying
How many people are still working? Jimmy Kimmel, blackface. Sarah Silverman, blackface.
Howard Stern's the best example.
Howard Stern got scolded for saying it by a black woman, his co-host, while he's doing the bit. So it wasn't okay at the time.
Yeah, blackface, and he just kept doing it.
And so can we grow up and accept that times have changed and things that were in the boundaries, within the boundaries, are now out of bounds? I'm not canceling Sarah Silverman. I don't care.
Yeah.
She's kind of a dumb opinion sometimes. Same with Howard Stern. He's a vax psycho. But I don't care. The times have changed. We don't need to behead anybody. And if we're not beheading everyone, then we're definitely not just beheading Joe Rogan.
Exactly.
So
moral of the story, never apologize to anyone. And if you're using the N-word in your life, it's probably ironically with your friends, your very close friends who you're saying it to because it raises the stakes because you know it's a bad word and no one's actually racist. Like if that's the last piece of racism is people like in group chats and like ironically like saying it and calling people that because they know it's such a bad word, not because they hate black people, I think that racism in that sense is not really an issue anymore then.
I agree.
Yeah. So it's like, and if you're going to change the way you speak and change who you make fun of and who you make jokes about, you can only make fun of white Christian males now. Mm-hmm. That's kind of more racist. I think everyone needs to be treated equally made fun of. Everyone can make race jokes. You can make religion jokes, make jokes about whoever, whatever, because everyone is equal and everyone can handle it equally. And everyone's expected to adhere to the same social norms of not freaking out, not getting mad.
Yeah.
So if you keep, you know,
comedians always make the statement too, like you were laughing at everything until it was about you, you know, until it was about PTA moms, and then it's how could you?
Yeah. So don't listen to the Muppetry. Don't listen to people who are trying to police your language. If you're not a racist person, you're not a racist person. That's it. Richard Rapboy is not a racist person, and he said the N-word on the show today.
I did not.
Oh, but you did. Think back.
Yeah. Are you good on audio over there? Mine's working too.
Did you get barbecue or salt and vinegar?
Salt and vinegar. Thank you.
There, I got him to say it. I told you I would. I guaranteed it, and he did. It doesn't count. He says, I think it does. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. FleeTheCity.com to flee the city. Get out of the blue cities and states today on a compound of your choice. These people will help you pick it out and do all the things you need to do to get it done. Thank you guys for watching. You make the show go around. 5-star reviews. Leave us some comments. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. We will see you at the next one.